Welcome to Digital Asset News. My name is Rob, and today, just like the thumbnail and the title suggests, there is some pretty interesting information out there as to how to become a millionaire. But really, it just boils down to three simple items. And we're going to take a look at a story that was just released about a janitor who over time became a millionaire, actually a multimillionaire for $8 million. So the first things first, so we take a look at what's going on with the market today. First of all, welcome everybody. Thanks for stopping by on a Sunday. Big games today, so we'll get this out of the way and give it a little bit of a rah-rah and then go do our things, maybe church, maybe football, maybe both. But today, Sunday, what is it? 29th January. Things are looking pretty good. And as things start to progress and we see that the market build up, I'm not saying that this is going to last forever. Usually markets don't go in a straight line like a rocket ship. There are some declines along the way. I don't know how much. No one's got a crystal ball. But as time has gone on, we know that in the years that have passed, things get a little bit bleak. And sometimes things move sideways. Sometimes things go down. And it really just is a good idea to take lessons from people who've already been there and done that. And this was a pretty good article. It was from MoneyWise. And talked about a janitor in Vermont amassed $8 million without anyone knowing him, without anyone around him actually knowing. His name was Ronald Read. And we've heard stories like this before. This is not the only one. We've heard about the librarian became a multimillionaire, a taxi cab driver became a multimillionaire. It's always the same type of thing. But there's just some nuances here that I think is pretty interesting. So it starts off, it's in quotes, everybody's favorite crypto investor, Warren Buffett. And I'm just kidding. He states, you don't need to have extraordinary effort to achieve extraordinary results. You just need to do the ordinary, everyday things exceptionally well. And that's the thing we kind of preach on this channel. It's not about, there's some super secret thing that you have to do, or there's some super secret trading strategy that's going to make you a billionaire tomorrow. That doesn't exist. It's all the same thing, just going on and on. But I will tell you right now, like, if you're here watching this video, you're probably not a person that gives up pretty easily, because this has been a brutal market so far. So if you're here right now, you're doing some things that a lot of people don't do, and you probably do pretty well as time has gone on. And this is actually pretty much summed up in this little cartoon that always kind of gets thrown around. And it's the truth. A lot of people, as time goes on, they just kind of give up when they're pretty close. And all you got to do is just stick around, just like in the military. Like, I know today I got my Marine shirt on, but I was in the Army. This is just a shirt that they gave us for our charity obstacle course we do for kids. But it's the same thing here, right? It's just like in the military. All you got to do is show up in the right uniform and you get promoted. All you got to do is just show up for investing, and over time, things tend to work out. So it's just one of those deals that as long as you just stick around, things do happen. Let's continue on. Reed's local community said he was a hard worker, but I don't think anybody had an idea that he was a multi-millionaire. It's the same thing. I mean, like me, I still got the same minivan because it functions quite well. It's got good gas mileage. I can, haul along my dog. So how do you do it? Really is the question. How is it? And of course, it always is the same thing. Being frugal. Friends remember him driving a secondhand car, using safety pins to hold his worn-out coat together. He cut his own firewood until after his 90th birthday. And one of his friends said, look, if he earned $50 in a week, he probably invested $40 of it. Now, I don't see how that's possible if you're going to not live off the streets and not be homeless, but you get the point. He did a lot of investing. He was frugal. Now, I'm not one of those people who says, if you just don't buy that latte from Starbucks, you'll be a billionaire tomorrow. That's just ridiculous. I mean, some of it is, decent advice, but in all honesty, just being a little frugal and not spending all over the place usually does pay off. And of course, investing into assets like digital assets or real estate or metals or things like that, as time goes on, usually does pay off. So here's how he did it also as well. So frugal is one thing, time is the other, and patience is the third. Many of his positions were held for several years, if not decades, and delivered immense returns over that period. The portfolio include heavyweights like Wells Fargo, Procter & Gamble, and Colgate-Palmolive. Another parallel between Reed and Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway also has a sizable position in Wells Fargo and Procter & Gamble. So not only is it about being frugal and time and, of course, patience, but it's picking some winners. I guarantee this guy didn't pick 100% of winners. It's not how it works. But there is a thing to look at as far as diversification and picking the ones that will do quite well. You don't have to get them all right, but it would be good if you don't get them all wrong and just put all your money into some crazy crypto that is like ranked 1,200 and go, well, this guy said it's going to go up. That's the recipe for disaster. I hate to tell you that to you. So I just do a little bit of diversification for myself. Not financial advice. I don't know your specific instance of what's going on. Of course, not your dad. So you can do whatever you want to do, which is what I do. For both investors, King Agreement was time and patience. Ronald Read, and this is the interesting part, Ronald Read lived to 92, and Buffett is 92 years old now. 90% of Buffett's fortune was generated after his 60th birthday. Let me say that again. 90% of Buffett's fortune was generated after his 60th birthday. If he retired early in the 50s, most people would have never heard of Warren Buffett. But the question then becomes, what do you want to do? What are your goals? Do you want to be the next Warren Buffett and be this multi-billionaire everybody talks about? Or do you want to be somebody who's a little bit comfortable and maybe doesn't have to go into the rat race and work a 9 to 5? There's a lot of different variables to consider. I mean, that's why no one can say no one should say, I'm going to give you all the financial advice in the world, because no one knows your position. The power of compounding is magnified over longer time horizons. It's also advisable to let your winners ride for longer. Taking profits too early or trading your positions too frequently adds costs and diminishes the power of compounding. So there's a lot to go over there. And one of the big things was that last sentence. Taking profits too early or trading your positions adds costs and diminishes the power of compounding. So underneath me is these things called the rules. And I've made these rules right around the Celsius collapse. And of course, it was here before the Voyager collapse. And we've seen FTX collapse and BlockFi, and who knows who else is going to collapse. But there's 5 rules. It's all gone. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Everything's a scam until proven otherwise. Don't use exchanges. Don't use leverage. Well, don't leave anything on exchanges. You got to use exchanges to transfer things out. But you don't have to leave it there. And the last one is take profits. So how can I say that and then read this article to you? Well, it's quite simple, actually. There's a video that I did, dollar cost average and take profits. It was about 2 weeks ago. And I explained it pretty simply about how I dollar cost average and take small profits on the way. Now, I don't do that all the time. I mean, I've been doing this channel since 2019, 2020. I didn't talk too much about taking profits, or actually at all. It's because I don't take profits that often. But when I do, it's to put that powder on the side. Now, I could do what Mr. Read did, which was just to hold on, be a penny pincher, be extremely frugal, and not buy anything, and then die at 92 years old, which is what happened to him, and not spend a dime and leave it to, I don't even know if he had kids. I didn't see that in the article. And that's what you can do too. You don't have to spend anything. You don't have to take profits on the way. You don't have to listen to me, not your dad. Do whatever you want to do. Then it becomes like this. How long do you want to hold on? How much do you want to acquire? And how much of your life do you want to live? Do you want to be like this gentleman here? I mean, this guy's probably got a boatload of money. If he's sitting here talking about, I'm going to get in a Ferrari. But then you have to think about quality of life. And when do you want to get things done? Maybe it might be a good idea to take some profits on the way and live your life. Maybe not live in that rickety house, or maybe not have that car that breaks down every 5 days. I don't know what it is, but I want you to remember this. I do love this video. When you're looking at taking these profits and moving along the way. And that's just it. So, and then another big thing that we talk about is that in this article, he talks about a couple of winners, Wells Fargo and Procter & Gamble. And it really comes down to picking these winners. And if we take a look here, you can dollar cost average, but there's a term I like to use called a dash of salt. Dash, nothing against Dash. I have nothing against the people that work at Dash or just try to make it great. But over 4 years, if you dollar cost average, you'd be up a whopping 3x if you sold at the top and started in 2018 when it was absolutely nothing. But again, how much can you accumulate? And then, of course, if you held on, you're underwater again. So just saying that, just to throw that out there. And also Salt. Salt was the next great lending platform. It tipped out at 1722. And if you would have dollar cost average, you'd still be not underwater per se. You don't lose until you sell. But why would you do that? Why would you do that when you could actually diversify. And we talked about this before. So I'll just go over this real quick. Like if you took Bitcoin and you put $100 every 7 days from January 1st, 2018, which when everything was hard to crash, and you sold at the top, newsflash, you won't. Or maybe you will. I don't know. Maybe you get lucky. But that would be a 7x. If you'd have waited till 2019 and done it, that would have been a 6.5x. And if you waited till 2020, it would have been a 4x. 2021, only 1.5. So again, longer, most of the time is better. Not all the time. And then we take a look at Ethereum. We did the same thing in 2018. We put $100 every 7 days or every week. If you would have sold the top, it would have been a 16x. If you would have started in 2019, a 17x. Pretty good. 2020, 11x. 2021, you would have only doubled your money. Then we take a look at Cardano. If we started in 2018, you would have 35x'd. If you would have started on January 1st, 2018, when it was like 2 cents or whatever it was back then. $100 every 7 days. 2019, a 39x. Pretty good. Longer time frame or shorter time frame. 2020, 26x. 2021, only a 3x. So again, it's all about that time frame and compounding all those gains. But there was one thing, of course, about betting on these losers and saying, well, this is what it is. You got to understand it. In crypto, you're going to have a lot of losers. I mean, if you want to diversify and do the do-gen plays. So what I want you to do is there's a website. I put in a link in the description. It's called coinmarketcap.com/historical. And I want you to take a look. Let's just go back to May 5th, 2013. Just see which ones were. Do you remember any of these besides Bitcoin and Litecoin? Do you know Purecoin or Feathercoin? Faircoin, Terracoin? No, you don't. Well, you probably don't because those don't exist anymore. I mean, they might, but who's getting into that? Let's go to 2014. Let's take May 4th again. Any of these look familiar? Bitcoin, Litecoin? Sure. Purecoin? No. XRP, Doge, Next, Omni, Namecoin, Blackcoin. There's Dash. Made Safecoin, BitShares. Again, I just want you to take a look at this. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But if you can see, as time has gone on, which ones have been the winners and which ones have kind of fallen to the wayside, it might be a good idea to take a harder look at those crypto projects. And then also, just so you know, these are the things that I'm doing. I did a video. It's called Why and When I'm Selling 80% of All My Crypto. You can find that on the 100% free website called Dan Teaches Crypto. It's very simple. Go to Dan Teaches Crypto. You click on Start Learning. And then there's a little video of me. You don't have to watch it. You can sign up for free. And you sign up, username, first name, last name, email, password, whatever you want it to be, submit registration, and bang, you're in. And that's it. That's all you got to do. And then from there, all the videos that I just talked about, and more so, are in the members area. And see, it's in investing. I got the basics, how to avoid scams, metaverse worlds, things like that. Why should we invest? Risk, have a plan, why 8%. I just talk about what and why you continue to buy, and so on and so forth. So again, it's up to you if you want to do those things, but it is free. And that's the big thing. And lastly, before we get to the Q&A part, I just want to remind everybody that as you start to get into these projects, you start to make money, and you're doing pretty well off, don't forget that there's some good things to do along the way as far as helping out people around you. This is a great video by Mr. Beast, and it was pretty cool. I mean, this guy makes a boatload of money just making videos. And what did he do with the money? Well, he paid for the surgery of 1,000 people who had cataracts and other different ailments with vision, and allowed them to see, not just in America, but throughout the world. I thought it was pretty cool how he did that. And also he gave away like Tesla and $50,000, $10,000. And some people say, well, he's just sensationalism and he's doing this for views and whatever else. Well, yeah, but guess what? At least he takes that money and puts it back into people. So I see that's a pretty good thing. And then for us here at Digital Asset News, we do things like charities for Amigos de los Animales. This is the dog walking. We also give them every month now. And if you're in Puerto Rico, there's no better place to get a dog. They're great, and they all need a home. And also, we donate to Pro Techos to help underserved, underprivileged people to actually put a roof on their house. Kind of hard to live if you don't have a roof, especially how much it rains here. Then, of course, we do donations through Kiva, which is lending to third world countries, actually all across the world. And someone just paid me $400 back. Great. So now I get to relend. And of course, we do that through the CARDANO stake pool. Again, links in the description. And that's it for today. So look, that's it for today. 15 minutes is pretty good. Not too bad. So if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, all that great stuff. Now what we'll do is we'll get into a little Q&A and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about, really. I'll be here for the next 40 minutes or so. And then while you're typing your questions, I just want to bring up one little piece here, and that is Sweatcoin. So again, on this channel, I'm super biased. I think everybody knows I own Sweatcoin. Does nobody know now that? Okay, now you know. So we did we're doing a giveaway, and all you had to do was download the app, start walking, and the people with the 30 people with the most steps win some pretty cool stuff. And we're coming up to that point. It's the 29th. We got 2 days left. 2 days. So first place, you get like 1,000 Sweatcoins. You get a Nano Ledger. You get a lifetime TokenMetrics membership. You get a membership at Tencent, StoneBook, Coin Ledger. And then second place, you get an Arculus, into the Cryptoverse, Ben's website. You got a premium membership. And on down the road. Ladies, NFTs. You get MELD tokens. You get a lot of stuff, actually. And that's for 21 to 30. And again, link in the description. You can, if you have the app and you just haven't added yourself, just go here. Click here to see if you're, let's just sign up. Let's find out. Click here. Let's see. This is January 23rd. They've been doing this once a week. So hardcore analysis is crushing everybody, but that's okay because we're going number 1 through 30. Francisco's only got 128,000 steps. That was on January 9th. January 16th. See all these people. January 20th. How many do we have on this challenge? It's a lot of people. But anyhow, that's a lot of people. Shoot. Who's got 0 steps? That's kind of tough. I thought that would be Beardy, but I guess not. So yeah, that's we'll be drawing the winners on February 1st. So if you haven't done so, go to the website. If you don't see your name on there, just click this little thing right here and add in your Sweatcoin username, and then maybe you win. And that's what's up. So that's what's going on with Sweatcoin. Now let's get into the Q&A and answer all your questions, all that good stuff. If you got to take off, take off. Thanks for stopping by. But now, Q&A. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, live show. I don't do these too often. Just better do it once a week. Good morning, Northern Cali. Yeah, big football games, FA Cup, sure. Everybody loves soccer. Must be a bull market if Rob is going live. I got to tell you, there's some very bullish indicators out there. I'm still a little bit hesitant, but I mean, I buy crypto every single day, so we'll see. Even if I'm wrong, I'm still right as time goes on. That's true. Mullet does have a point. Minivan is a chick magnet. If my wife ever divorces me, then I have room for 8 kids. So that'll be good. I'm saving all the money I would have spent on soap and deodorant. That's yeah, Vicky's right. Buffett has always said compounding is the key. It's very true. It all depends on what you want to do. That is also true. That is also true. Compounding interest on a depreciating investment or asset is not very, very, very great. Unless you can hold it and it goes up. I mean, Bitcoin hasn't been doing so hot for the last year. But over the last 2 months, 3 months, been doing pretty good, actually. Yeah, haircuts and shave the beard off. And every so often I do that because it gets a little crazy. Robbie Austin says, if XRP loses, are you selling your altcoins? Nah. Here's the thing. If XRP loses, like we had a discussion with this. It was me, Guy, and Ben for the NFA Live. And we asked this question. I actually asked Guy this question. If XRP loses to the SEC, I don't think they're going to lose. But if they do, what'll happen? In the short term, you're going to see some major downside or minor downside. Who knows? People might be like, whatever. Because, of course, people will say, well, America is not the epicenter of everything. That's debatable. But I will tell you this: if the SEC wins, I guarantee, I'm 99% sure that the market's going to take a little bit of a dump for a while. So for me, if that happens, would I sell? In all honesty, it's probably for me, not for everybody. There's two ways you can play that. The one way is to go, okay, there's a XRP just lost. I'm going to sell a bunch of my crypto, or half of my crypto, or 25% of my crypto, or all my crypto. And it's going to go down, and we'll see where the bottom is, and I'll start to rebuy. That's risky. It is, because then you could just say, the market is like, whatever, right? Like the debt ceiling, which coincidentally, the debt ceiling in America, we've raised it 45 times over the last 40 years. What's the difference? So we've already hit the debt ceiling. We're above it. We'll probably just raise it up again, or whatever. Or the government shuts down, which, let's be honest, they don't do too much anyhow. So there's that one way to play it. Or you're going to say, you know what, it's going to go down. Well, maybe just like with the Fed Reserve at the FOMC meeting, maybe just wait to see what the announcement is. And if the announcement comes out and they go, okay, we're going to raise rates by 25 basis points, cool. Then just keep dollar cost averaging, and off you go. If they come out and say, you know what, we're going to pause rate hikes right now. If they say that, the market's going to go up pretty quickly. So maybe you want to start buying a little bit right at that point when you hear that. Or if Jerome Powell comes out and goes, you know what, sorry, everybody. I know you thought it would be 25 basis points. We're going to go 50 and or 75 to make sure we have a stranglehold on inflation. Now all you got to do is wait 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, watch the market just dump, and then start buying things and get it cheaper. So there's ways you can play it. Same way if the XRP or if the Ripple case is dismissed, or it's a loss, or it's a win, there's different ways to do it. Me personally, I'd probably just look at it and go, okay, if they lost, let me just wait for a bit. Let me give it a day or so, see how bad it goes, and then just start dollar cost averaging, buying some things, some really cheap stuff. And I would probably dynamic DCA and buy a little bit more, because over time, it's not going to make a difference. All they're going to say is, okay, this, and like I've said before, all it's going to do is going to say, okay, we just decided, or the judge just decided that this is a security. Great. So now everybody has to come in and say, and if this even goes through, because Congress has to actually say, okay, this is the definitive factor of what you would consider a security, even though the law said this is how we see it. Then all you got to do is say, all right, well, now the project has to come in and say, okay, we're a security, we register it. They've already done that with EOS. EOS got fined in 2018, 2019. And they say, you were an unregistered ICO, pay the fine, move on. They did, worked out just fine. And then so those parties have to do it. All the different centralized exchanges, now they have to register as selling securities. That's on them, not on the projects. And then that's it. Those smaller projects, they get cannibalized because they can't afford registering themselves as a security or take the time frame. And that's it. I will tell you one thing that would probably go through the roof is Bitcoin, because they've already said, the CFTC and the SEC has already said, yeah, we pretty much think that Bitcoin's a commodity. So I would probably see that Bitcoin's going to go up crazy. That's a long answer. You're right. Frank the Tank says, I'm at 300,000 for the month. You never see my messages. Well, Frank, let's see. Unfortunately, Frank, even though you've got a bunch of steps, I hate to break this to you, but you're not even in the top 50. So looking at January 23rd, if you have 300,000 steps, you are ranked number 64, maybe 63, somewhere around there. So I don't know what's going on there, but again, try to sign up. The other one, be put on the list. Okay. Rob, what's your end of year Bitcoin price prediction? I'm going to guarantee you right now, it's going to be between $5 and $150,000. Yes, that's it. That's my Bitcoin price prediction. I'm pretty sure I'm 100% accurate in that one. So, investment advice. I did saw an interesting one, Mark Yusko and Gareth Soloway. Gareth believes that we're going to go down like around 10 or 12K. And I'll remind you, he was right last time in 2021. And Mark was saying that we're going to see over 100K by June. I thought that was interesting. Or by the end of this year. So one of those guys is wrong. I'm just going to sit in the sidelines and go, well, if it goes up, maybe I'll take some small profits. But if it goes down, I get the dynamic DCA. And off you go. Yeah. That's why I like Sundays, because most people are off work. No. Hector says, you do any mining or run nodes? We do a stake pools. We did an Avalanche one. It was okay. But mostly we do the Cardano stake pools. And I gotta ask you, everybody, if you're on an exchange and you're holding your Cardano there, why are you doing that? Like, did you not learn your lesson from FTX and Voyager and Celsius and God knows what else is going to collapse? Take it off the exchanges. Take it off. You can download a Yoroi wallet, ADA Lite, or a Daedalus wallet right now. Put it on there. Control your keys. Delegate it to anybody you want to. I'm just going to say, might as well use DNews. We're 99% plus uptime. We're reasonable. We've been battle tested and still making the plays. So start to earn that 4 to 6% APY. Just saying. So no, we don't do the other stuff, but the stake pools, yes. Let's see. CTO Larson, I like that guy. Went hard on BUSD, claiming it had least risk last summer. Gun to your head, which stable do you choose? I guess USDC, since you like Coinbase. Yeah, probably USDC. But I don't have any. I have very little in stable coins. I don't see the point. I mean, I saw the point before of getting yield and things like that, but I don't see the point right now. Especially if, I don't get it. I don't. I mean, I guess if you're a trader and you're trading pairs, I get that part, but I'm not a trader, so it's not for me. That's a good question. Niners, Chiefs. Niners and Chiefs. Okay. The sentiment's high. I have a bail feeling about the next Fed report. What are your thoughts? I think if it's 25 basis points, which that's like a 99% assurance, that's what everybody thinks it is, then we'll see. You know what's interesting about that 99%? They say, well, they'll say if it's going down that route and you think that people are so sure, then of course that's when everything changes. So it'd be interesting to see if it's 25 basis points and it comes in, they say 25 basis points, we can just say, well, sometimes it actually works out like that. So I don't really have bad feelings about it. I have an interesting piece that they're trying to recalculate the way CPI is done. I think that's going to be interesting, especially when we go into presidential election season. So we'll see. Thoughts on Jay Powell kicking the market's teeth next week? I'd love to see it. I would love to see a pullback. Yeah, and Mo, it's like once the news that Ripple loses the lawsuit hits the media, it will be too late to sell. True. And of course, if it'll hit the media, it'll hit Twitter first, I think. And I mean, the outlets will be there, but people will tweet it out. So always be aware. Twitter is the best place to find information. Not the most accurate 100% of the time, but it is if you can verify it. The debt ceiling, why she's telling me to stop buying stupid stuff. Yeah, but you know what? In 2025, when we're in this massive bull run, and you're like, hey, so what color Lambo would you like to have? I'm just kidding, but you know what I mean. Or like, hey, guess what? I just paid off the house. Now who's buying stupid? So remember that. Tristan said, did your channel gain some subscribers in NFA? Yeah, a couple. I mean, I was subscribers. It doesn't really matter subscribers, honestly. It just views are nice, but the people that view it and actually listen to the message is nicer. No, we'll say that. Hope you fail. Me too. Maybe it goes above 150,000 or whatever it is. Pull back on the 1st of Feb. We'll see. When are you going to run an Ethereum stake pool? Never. I got to tell you, if you can take a look at two different ways, a tale of two stake pools, everybody who's staked with Ethereum and Cardano, please sound out in the comment section which one is easier and better to use. That's all I'll say. I'll let everybody else answer the question for you. But I'll never run a Ethereum stake pool. When Mullet where do you DCA? And Mullet says, I don't. I'm a degenerate trader. That's okay. Mullet had a great saying. He said, it's amazing how a short-term trade becomes a long-term hold when things don't go right. This is true. Yeah. Cardano is very easy. You don't lock up. There's no slashing of rewards, which is nice. That's it. That's good. Lost my youth in Celsius. Never buying anymore. Still have all my ADA on my ledger. Buying more. Yeah, I have. Well, now I know it's way over 6 figures. I had 6 figures on Celsius. Didn't get out in time. It was a funny thing. Did a video on it on that day, and I did a couple test transactions. Then when I was moving my 4.5 Bitcoin, which was the first thing that I was going to go over, for some reason didn't go through. Now I got 6 figures sitting on Celsius, 5 figures on Voyager. But the 5 figures, maybe even less now, because it was all the VGX token. I should have just sold all that stuff. Oh well, live and learn. And that's it. All right, buddy. So that's it for today. Look, if you like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. But it is Sunday, time to watch a little football and relax. Enjoy the day and don't take everything so seriously. Yeah, it'll be fine. Anyhow, thanks so much for stopping by. Appreciate everybody. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios for